One. As the world gravitates towards cleaner energy solutions, Nigeria is striving not to be left behind. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has taken a significant leap forward for the country by deploying electric charging points for vehicles at fuel stations. The NNPCL will also collaborate with other companies to manufacture more electric cars in the country. This development, which is in line with the federal government's net zero carbon targets by 2060, is expected to boost human and technology capacity of the country. Nikhil, looks like we're almost there.
Yes, we've taken a good step, and I remember Sterling Bank trying to lead the push for cleaner energy by releasing electric vehicles to their patrons, by encouraging even women to drive electric tricycles. And they've actually kicked it off in states like Kano, for example. Some women were given those electric vehicles, and they now ride it courtesy of the bank. There are companies in Nigeria that are now assembling electric vehicles. Chidi Ajero's GIG, you know, it's also into vehicle assemblage with Jet Mover. The rest of them, they are doing EVs. I saw where he went to even present his electric bus to the governor of Delta State. So these are baby steps that we are taking, but we have to try our best to join the rest of the world, because this is the future. You look at China. China currently has no less than 13.1 million electric vehicles on the streets, whereas America has just a little over 3 million. China is the world leader in terms of the number of electric vehicles in use. The governor of Borno State bought electric vehicles. Okay, you can see that's Delta State governor. You know, on the day that Chidi Ajero of GIG introduced the electric vehicle to him. Now, I'm saying that this is the way to go. The governor of Borno State bought electric vehicles, released them for use on Borno roads, and people pay as little as 50 naira a drop. You've seen those taxes. I saw those taxes. Okay, these are electric vehicles for Borno State. You can see that this is Nigerian street, you know, for 50 naira per ride. And those guys were saying, this is so cheap. Where in this country are you going to get 50 naira per drop in this era? It's not, but that is what they are paying. It's way cheaper, it is cleaner, but for us to get there, we need to build many points where people can charge. On the highways, we need to put on the highways, maybe like Lagos Ibadan Expressway, put those charging points there, where people can recharge their vehicle, because it takes longer to charge them than to actually fill your tank with gasoline. So gasoline vehicles are still the most popular across the world, but countries are taking those steps. We started with CNG. This CNG thing, we should have done it a long time ago. But we continue to use expensive fuels like diesel, like PMS, but we have to change along the way. So I like the fact that we too, as a country, we are changing gradually, and we'll get there. We just need to take those steps. China accounts for about 60% of electric vehicles in the world. China alone. They moved quickly. You know, those Chinese leaders, when people are talking about giant steps, they said they were taking giant leaps. I was a little boy in school, and I was reading about China's giant leap, and I'm like, what's going on? There's a big difference between a giant step and a giant leap. So we can now see where they are.
Asoko, Nigerians say this is a transformative wave of progress. How significant is this for you?
I know it's significant because if we take it one at a time, we'll be able to get there. I know we are targeting 2060. But I know some countries, even in Europe, they are also struggling to get into this same level that we are. And if you look at these electric vehicles, especially the one that the NNPC is actually inaugurated recently, what does it use? It's solar. It uses the sunlight, so to charge, the points that we are talking about. So we have this in abundance. So all we need is just for us to have more points. By the time we have more points, so many people will start looking at that. Because Nigerians are looking for a cheaper way of trying to move around. The CNG, like we said some days back, by the time it's everywhere, people will not be talking about going to buy petrol of 600, 800 or whatever. Because you just look for something that is cheaper. If I can get my CNG gas for 100 naira, and if it gets lesser, and can take me from point A to point B for 1 week, 2 weeks, and I'm spending less than 20,000 or 10,000, people will not be thinking about petrol. So we'll not even be thinking, I'm sorry, by the time we'll be talking about this, the likes of Dangote and even our so-called refineries will start to shout and say, what is happening? Is our refinery still producing? Because we are all moving from petrol to CNG to electric. That is the plan. And then we'll even live long because we have cleaner energy.
Even your vehicle, you won't be going to mechanics.
No, of course. Because
there's nothing like
yeah, exactly. You know, go back and go and be mechanic workshop all the time. Open carburetor and
help you damage it.
And damage you for it.
Then they steal your catalyst
from under.
Your exhaust. A bad
all right.
So there's a lot to gain with this sustainable energy solution, because this is it. It's called sustainable energy solution. By the time we move from petrol, we are talking about electric vehicles, we are talking about CNG, you will see that things will just be moving in the country. And I'm so happy that the private sector is buying into this.
Yes.
They're investing heavily into it, and it makes a lot of sense.
So on that, what level of accountability or commitment are you expecting from NNPC on this?
No, 100%. It is one of the subsidiaries of NNPC that is taking this particular initiative.
Energy Limited.
Okay. So we are hoping that apart from this particular filling station that has taken, others will also buy into it. I know one time that I traveled abroad, and it was even in a hotel that had the conference. People just drive in, they put the points, maybe they go there, pay and all that. So at some point, when the private sector starts to buy into the initiative, hotels will also do. Supermarkets will also have points where people can go there when once you park, you just recharge, and then you start moving. So Nigeria will be very sweet. I am beginning to see a sweet Nigeria, and it's coming. It's coming very soon, because we are really looking at how it's done over there, and we are trying to replicate it here, which is the essence of the whole thing.
All right, let's move on. The legal travails of the media